But that's things that you get on tape and you can teach and explain it to them, right?
Well, I make them explain it to me. What were you doing there? You know.
Yeah.
So I think the most important thing about coaching is not you telling them what they did wrong, but then them explaining to you why they did what they did. Then you can figure out how they're thinking. If you can figure out how a kid's thinking, you can change his thinking. If you yell at him and say, "Hey, you're wrong," find out why he did it. Maybe he's thinking right, but he's looking at the wrong key.
I guess they got to know it more than you do. I mean, you got to know it, but they got to know it.
They got to know it a lot faster than I do.
But how about defending 101 plays? I mean, but that's going to be the nature of the beast, particularly with this offense, the way they score so quickly. I mean, your kids got to be conditioned to play 101 plays.
That's why we played so many kids. We're trying to create depth, and part of that is our fault for not getting off the field on third down. We played well on first and second down. We really did. But we got to win more of the money downs. There's no question.
Do you feel like facing 101 plays gives you an advantage just week one at that practice?
It does for the amount of plays you put on tape, so you can evaluate more kids and evaluate your defense. But if we had a game this week, I would say that wouldn't be an advantage because they're a little gassed.
Whenever you get into Big 12 plays, that's something to be a little bit nervous about.
Well, it's just part of the Big 12. I don't anticipate playing 101 plays every week. I hope not. But if we have to, we have to. But ultimately, it's our job to get off the field and not play that many plays.
You have to complement what Dana does on offense defensively. And a lot of times, teams could be chasing less regime, so that changes the way you defend. And it's a little bit easier to defend when you got teams chasing you, right? You know what they're going to do.
Well, you should. You know, our offense gives us an advantage. There's no question. And if they can keep racking up that many points every week, we're going to get better as a defense, especially defending the pass.
It's going to obviously make teams more predictable, I guess.
One-dimensional, you hope.
Yeah.
Is it tough as a defensive head coach at all, seeing the way things have changed and to grind it out type of games, but more of
wide
way
open
things?
Right. It's you got to defend the whole field now. Whereas before, when it was eye back, toss sweep, lead, ISO, it was more condensed. But now everybody's spread out. You run a lot more on defense than you ever did, and that sort of wears you down a little bit. That's why, again, it goes back to we got to find more depth.
But as a defensive-minded coach, more game philosophy, I guess, not the 17-14 games.
No,
but more of,
does
it bother you that that's the way it
I'd still like them to only get 10 points, but you're talking about 18 to 22-year-old kids. If you throw 100 plays at them, someone's going to make a mistake, and it could be one guy in this play, one guy in that play. It could be, and unfortunately on defense, if a guy makes a mistake, it could be 6 points. If a guy makes a mistake on offense, it could be second down.
The metrics have changed in the way you evaluate defense because of the way they spread them out. I mean, in this day and age, you can't hide a player on defense. I mean, the way the teams are spread out, it's impossible.
Right. You measure success differently on defense now than you used to, and that, ultimately you want to win the game. You'd like to hold them to a certain amount of points or less, but like I said, if they're chucking the ball deep 20 times, there are chances, they may catch one.
Yeah.
So, and they get you out in space and they throw, I wouldn't want to defend Tavon and Stedman. They get you out in space and they throw a 5-yard hitch, he makes a guy miss, it could be a touchdown.
Or in the third quarter when you get a little tired, you're not as alert. I mean, that's when
that's defense.
Yeah.
That's defense. So, but we're going to get better, and we weren't awful. There's a lot to improve on, but more importantly, our kids saw it on Sunday when we watched the tape and realized, what, if I would have done this, they wouldn't have scored. Or if I would have done that, we would have got off the field on third down.